Hey,
How you doing, Ash?
I'm good. How are you, Chris?
I could really use a muffin right now, but I must wait. And I would love for it to be a carrot muffin or an oat carrot muffin. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever not at muffin.
I'm struggling right now.
Why are we always so hungry? What is wrong with us?
It
Um,
takes a lot of power and atoms to use to use our expertise.
and to explore the intricacies, randomness, and intensities of what the FUX. So welcome back for
Mm.
that. Look out. All
That's right.
right. You want to walk us through the wheel, Vanna?
Yes, as always, we've enlisted the help of one of our favorite gifts, maybe one or two of our favorite gifts, where we of topics, and it allows for us to wax poetic or sentimental on topics that are both near and dear and have also perplexed us.
We have a lot of topics in the What the FUX energy. And so we created a wheel that we spin to get at our topics so we can
Yeah.
answer honestly and really get at the essence of what the FUX. So I'm going to spin that
Hmm.
wheel. Van, are you ready?
Yes,
Here
I'm
we
always ready.
go. When you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right. All
You
right,
know,
Vanna.
yes. Da, da,
Ho,
da,
ho,
da,
ho,
da,
ho.
da,
Oh,
da,
gah, yikes.
da. The cringe is making me a little anxious.
It should. So, very topical topic.
Hmm.
Hashtag tech layoffs, UX as an easy offcut.
I knew this would happen. It
Yeah,
was gonna happen sooner or later.
it was. It's the
Okay.
moment, it's the energy.
Yeah.
Let's
Give it a
let's
shot. Okay.
try. Yeah, I mean,
So it is what it is, and I just don't understand it. It's a bit of a conundrum because for businesses that have products and services that need to be used by humans, mm, if you're removing the if you're removing the focus and the lens that it takes to refine these products and services so that people extract meaningful value out of it, that doesn't quite compute for me. And I mean, if you're narrowing down to like a skeleton crew, but expecting people to do more with less, good luck. Is that sustainable? I don't know. So layoffs are a shit show for everyone that have to go through it. But I don't know. Not being on the inside of some of these companies, all I know is what's been communicated from people who have been affected by it, and it just I don't understand it because then you'll have people at like UX director level people, and like I'm talking about people from Google that I've
yup,
read LinkedIn posts of, like
yup,
heavyweight
yup.
people driving value and making so much impact, and not only to the business but for the people that they are responsible for, that they are caring for, that they are mentoring,
Mm.
that they are just being amazing for, and this tier of people are being discarded. I i i i, I will never profess to understand the why behind that.
And I think like the other part maybe to qualify where we're at too is we're not trying to say that somehow there's any difference in the experience for people getting laid off. We're not saying that, UX is in somehow a different category or anything like that. We're just commenting on
Mm.
what we know, which is also a bias in terms of where we're sampling from. It's a bias in terms of our experience, where we're looking and what we're seeing. We don't actually know. But in our groups, in our awareness, and in our circles, it has been very hard hit. So I think the energy
Mhm.
of this topic is kind of coming at the why would UX be seen as an easy cut? Like there's this bizarre energy out there that somehow the things that make products work best for people is the easiest is an easy thing to remove is very peculiar. And to your point, like Who are we selling to? Products go to humans. What do we need this product to do? Work good for humans. Who are we going to
Hmm.
cut? The people doing the human work. Like it's very it's not funny. It's ridiculous. And so I
And
think
potentially dangerous in some situations.
thank you. And I think the somehow having these qualifiers of what is additive and extra. It's like this is not like an extra just little sprinkle of sugar on top of an already delicious, perfect donut that takes it to the
Hmm.
next level. This is like the flour. These things that UX does and all of its various capacities are essential for product building, making, using, doing, keeping, profiting, functioning.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's treated like this decorative item that somehow
Mm.
doesn't need to be. And I think when we're looking at the energy of our show and the what the FUX and tech layoffs and YUX, and maybe that's coming back to this cultural identity of purposefulness of UX in industries that are perhaps not as mature on the reality of what it is we do and why it's so needed.
Hmm.
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 Thoughts?
It's there's a lot to unpack, and I agree with all of it. And it's not so much a chicken and the egg. It's like
Yeah.
what do we do in the face? Like, my question is, what do we do? I'm not like, this is like to open to like for us, but like, I don't really know. It's not. I don't really know what type of control I have over the potential scenario that can play out when I'm with a business that at first says that, oh, we're all for it, and we then like, thanks, we're excited to work on stuff like that, and then after X amount of time, yeah, so we need to start getting down to the nitty gritty and tighten our belt and get to cutting. Your name's on the list. And I've experienced this before, where I was directly part of like the pitch for new business that secured new clients that required that work, and then the business was like, we've got some names, and you're potentially on the chopping block. Okay, well, I'm a one of one, so how are you going to do what you're going to need to do? So it's it doesn't add up, and
for
so
For
I
our
don't know.
listeners, I make Muppet faces. So if you've ever watched the Muppets, that has been all of my faces in the yep, make a note of that. Thank you, Chris. Animation pending.
Yeah, like,
Um,
but which Muppets?
all of them. It's
Cool.
honest. If you
Okay.
can't, yep. But I think one of the things that no one knows what to do in this moment of tech layoffs, and I think moving it slightly beyond just the frame of UX for a second is
Hmm.
the impact that this has on the fragility principle in our industry. So, tech in general right now feels like a really fragile space. You're never really
Hmm.
sure when's that other shoe going to drop or whatever the expressions are. And I think that level of disquiet, discomfort, and threat lingering is
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
it's a very unhealthy space. So for everyone who's involved in tech at the moment, we're all sharing in this, right? And it's
Yeah.
pretty scary. The in
Yeah.
terms of when we think about anchoring work to what we need to thrive and exist in the world, right? Money, cool.
And let's just say that all UX jobs in tech, let's start smaller. In
But
tech, let's just say that they all get cut, right?
mm,
Products and services will begin to flounder. That's my assumption.
but
Educated guess, they'll flounder. They won't be as good. They'll function to a point, but sales will reflect that over time. My assumption would be that those UXers will move to different industries altogether, and they'll
mm,
benefit from it. That's
the
that's where my
industries or
mind
the
goes.
UXers will benefit from it.
I think both.
Mm,
And I think both could benefit, because I mean, this is the lens I'm looking at it from. If the work that you're doing is meaningful to you and meaningful to the business, that's a win-win. I'm just hoping that in this scenario that the honeymoon phase goes a little bit longer than expected, because if, I don't know, just off the top of my head, if it's like, if UXers move towards, let's say, healthcare or education, that I could see a lot of benefits coming out of that. But at the same time, looking at the world, like we're looking at a mirror of this world, a multiverse. we have to think about fintech and finance and insurance and so on. And there's no shortage of those businesses, and that industry is quite alive and thriving. So
Hmm.
I suppose in that situation, those UXers that are open to that branch, those industries, they may choose to just accept it and go to in that direction to pay the
Hmm.
bills. And will they find satisfaction out of it? I don't know, but
Well,
that's where my mind kind of goes.
it's an interesting it's an interesting idea. So I'm almost thinking of it now like there's this moment, right? So there was whatever led up to now,
Hmm.
then this piece in tech. So we're
Hmm.
talking about our Microsofts, our Metas, our Facebook, who is Meta or whatever, our Googles, our Mangoes, our whatevers. They
Hmm.
are the ones that are going like this, pew, like peace. But
Yeah,
to your point, there are a lot of industries who are like, so maybe they're throwing the ball that is UX, like bye. And then there's all these, I don't know, sports. Baseball is like a
sure.
mitt that's like, we'll take it, we'll catch that. We want that here.
Yeah,
So maybe what we'll
yeah.
see is in this moment a real shifting of UX thriving in industries that historically maybe have not had access to UX because they've all been kind of cooped up in these other domains, in these mango, fangy, sharp teethed entities. But it may
Yeah.
be such an opportunity for
Hmm.
things to get awesome in places
And
that
there's
haven't had
a
the chance because they couldn't compete
yep,
before. I hadn't thought of that
yep.
until right now. Thank you, Coffee and Chris.
It's
My
pretty,
two favorite C's
it's
today.
ha 2 cc's of opportunity and discussion. Ha!
I
So
like what you did. I like what you did. Okay.
what's
Hyper.
also kind of like another option, I think, with
Mm,
the dots that connect from this moment now to
mm,
other businesses that can flourish, is not the only option. I think UXers and like, no matter what your profession is in tech, and you've experienced you've been laid off, right? There's another option: people starting their own businesses, their own freelancing, their own agencies, consultancies, grouping together.
mm.
That's another possibility as well.
Huge.
Personally, I'm not really one to I don't prefer to do freelance work, but that doesn't mean it's a bad option. It's just my preference. And so that could happen, and it's probably happening already.
And as someone who quite enjoys it, like like the
Mm,
opportunity to jump in, work with people who are like, we have something that's not going, help, and you're like, yep, and you do, and it gets better, and the quantity of that across so many different spaces is exciting. So I'm hoping that what we're going to get to in this, what the FUX of being seen as offcuts in a particular area of where UX has
mm,
predominantly flourished will then translate into almost like a seeding of
hmm.
opportunities in places that otherwise historically didn't have a chance. And maybe that's going to be when we time capsule back. That's a verb. We're going to let's see what's up and like what the
Yeah,
FUX about this in like, I don't know, a year.
a
Let's,
year. I
I'm
was thinking
yeah. Let's
that would be
what's
interesting.
Feb Friday? Okay, wait. 10 to 2024.
War. Oh my.
Done.
I hope.
Warp.
Hopefully, it won't get like we'll do that. But I'm telling you all right now, if this time capsule revisit conflicts with the Fantastic Four movie, I will not be here for that discussion. We will schedule it for another time. Um, but I am open to this.
I
Mm,
respect you and
mm,
comics and
yeah.
not Hollywood. We can cut
I,
that in
I, I, I,
post.
but time capsuling would be dope. That like
Let's do
compare
that.
and contrast and see what the landscape looks like then.
There it
Tell
goes.
us, future Ash and Chris, what is the world like in
Can you
2024?
do like a do 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 and then we just have like different glasses. That's the future.
Yeah,
Boop.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just different
That'd be
glasses.
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna make.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks everyone. I don't. Yep. A lot of future talk. Um,
yeah.
fingers crossed.
If you have any questions or topic ideas, please add us and hit us up over our email, and we're looking forward to it. So until then, I'm Chris.
I'm Ash. We need to sign off. That's not shit.
You brought it back. Yes. Just not cut that.
We're not cutting that out.